Okay. It took me 30 minutes to try to remember how I got this thing to start. The directions are so vague, but anyway, all right. So it appears to be live and turned on. Heaven help me. I fiddled with that so long I forgot what I even was going to say. So I will try to rewrap and start over. I guess I will comment a little bit about life on the farm. Last evening, the wind was just blowing horrendously all day yesterday. Another tree limb broke in late afternoon from a different tree, also in the kind of the front yard, and the limb crashed onto the fence. Nobody really knew what that was about. Those trees had been there for years and years, and it's always windy, and so why they broke yesterday, nobody quite knows. But then toward evening, there was a ruckus down on the highway, which is about maybe a half a mile away, but everything is very flat, so you can see the highway from the front yard standing by the mailbox. And there was some kind of ruckus down there, and Jenny got in her little Gator four-wheel drivey thing and buzzed down there to see what was going on. And there was a rig pulled just barely off the edge of the road. It was just a few inches from the white line down the side, and part of it was hanging over into the ditch. And it was a pretty nice rig. The pickup was really nice, and it was pulling a stock trailer, a big stock trailer. And two wheels of the stock trailer had absolutely exploded and just disintegrated, scattered rubber all the way back down the road, and oh my God. And so here's this big stock trailer tipping over in the ditch, and Jenny went up to the cab, and there was a couple of guys in there, older men, big fat bellies. One of them had a mouthful of chaw, straw hat crammed over his head, bibby overalls, and they were hauling horses. They had 8 draft horses in the back of that stock trailer. Y'all know how big a draft horse is? They weigh like close to 2,000 pounds apiece. They're just enormous animals. And they had taken these horses down to the Amish country, and they left them down there for a while for training purposes. The Amish, do their farming with horse-drawn implements. And so these two old guys had taken these horses down to the Amish country for training. And they had gone to get them, and they were headed back. They had 8 draft horses in that trailer. And it was like 110 degrees. The wind was blowing. There was some ventilation, but you can't keep 6 or 8 ton of horses in a tin can for very long. And so, Jenny began immediately to rehearse in her mind what options there were for those horses. And she told the old guys that she said, just a minute and I'll go home and see what I can figure out. So she went home and got in her old phone number book and found a phone number for a tow truck driver that she knew from way back in the day. She said, I forget his name, but she said, he was a son of a bitch. He would take on anything, she said. So she called this old friend of hers, and he agreed. This tow truck driver agreed. He said, okay, you go tell him, and I'll come out there and I'll see what I can do. And he was going to bring tires with him. So that is eventually what finally happened with that. And while all that was in progress, there was also an issue going on that had to do with Mike and the straw. I don't know if any of you all ever lived in wheat country to know this, but anyway, um, Mike has finished harvesting the wheat crop. It was a bumper crop, by the way, and the price was good. He got all the wheat in, and all that was successful. But there is a secondary crop to the wheat, and that's the straw. And it happened this year that, for whatever reason, the straw, it was just copious. So much straw. Oh my God. It grew very tall, it grew very thick, it just, so much straw. Uh, and around here, they use a lot of straw. It's winter bedding for the stabled animals, and there are a lot of them. So the issue was to get this straw up off the ground and get it baled, and then get the bales put away before some kind of rainstorm comes. So that was all going on. And then early this morning, there was some kind of further, I don't know exactly what happened. Anyway, Mike was trying to stack the straw. Jenny was helping him. Something didn't work out too well, and Mike started throwing bales off the top of the stack, and Jenny was down below. And a fracas developed, and this was, I don't know, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and Jenny came flying in here and yelled this information up the stairs to me. And I'm standing at the top of the stairs trying to make sense of it all. And that's how the day started. And none of that is really important. It's only to say that regardless what is going on in the news, the people, the working people, are out there doing whatever it is that they do. And I'm sure that there's this false impression that everything comes to goes into chaos when these riots and things happen. Actually, I don't think that a lot of people are paying that much attention. I really don't. The average people are going head on, as always they go ahead on. All right, I have begun to ramble off again. So I'm going to change screens. Stand by one. I know I can figure out how to do this. All right, where am I? I'm going to my blog. I want to make some comments about stuff posted, and I put in the link. I'm sure you can see that somewhere. Okay, I'll just scroll quickly to the bottom of this first page. I won't go back any further than that for right now. The bottom of this first page on my blog. And the first article is about the current Pope. The reason this is significant is that many people who are following this type of information stream do recognize that at the top of all the big church groups, there are globalists who are also in the category with the Illuminati and the Satanists. These groups are all one and the same. They do go by different names, but many people who have studied all of this do recognize. And Bergoglio has not really fooled anyone. Going on, the next little piece is a stray video just as an illustration about what it looked like in Baton Rouge with the riot police. Again, this seems like a huge deal, but actually all this now is critique. People are critiquing what went on associated with, stemming from, connected to the false flag event, the Dallas police shooting. Patriots are critiquing this. I see a lot of pieces from various patriot websites, and I thought that was a brilliant move, didn't you? That the Oath Keepers stepped forward so quickly and sent police departments all across the country flowers. I don't know what genius thought of that, but it was a brilliant move on the part of the Oath Keepers. And then Dave Hodges goes ahead on to extrapolate an expectation, what may be anticipated, stemming from what we saw happen with the Dallas police shootings. Moving on, this is an interesting piece. The Texas governor sustains extensive burns in an accident, was somehow exposed to boiling water below the knees and on both feet. What the hell was he doing? This cannot have been an accident. It just wasn't an accident. I'm not too sure what the governor of Texas was doing in Wyoming in the first place, which is where he was when this accident occurred, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And that is the Dick Cheney owns Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So I'm not sure what the governor of Texas was doing at that location where he got in this accident involving hot water that put him in the hospital. And it just happened that there was an unrelated article that I don't know. This just went together to me. This one individual, Coyote, has been putting up these wonderful little pieces about the enemies of the people as he views them. And apparently Coyote doesn't like Donald Trump too much better. So he put Donald Trump's picture up here and called him a flim-flam target. Donald John Trump, born June 14th, 1946, as an American businessman, television personality, author, and politician. He is chairman of the Trump Organization, which is the principal holding company for his real estate ventures and other business interests. He's also the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party for President of the United States in the 2016 election. And Coyote is nominating him for jerking around the American people. The punishment being suggested, I guess, is the hot foot is a prank where the prankster sets the victim's shoelaces or shoe on fire with a match or a lighter. I connect that somehow to the Texas governor sustaining extensive burns in an accident involving his lower legs and his feet. That's just a connection I make. I'm sure nobody else would have seen those two pieces fall together like that, but I don't know. Then the next piece has to do with special effects, movie effects that enhanced the Dallas police murders. This was a movie effect apparently involving zirconium sparks balls, and this shows how that worked. I'm sure that's probably, I'm not saying, I do think the Dallas police officers are dead. I do think there was a sniper involved, maybe several, probably 3 snipers involved doing a triangulated shot at it. But I do think that all of that was enhanced with special effects. And somewhere in the mix there, they have used actors playing, I don't know, I don't really care. All that has totally lost whatever fascination it ever had in the first place. I'm no longer fascinated at all. I know that these riots are being deliberately whipped up, manufactured, socially engineered, paid for by George Soros' money, and who knows who else's money, who else's funding. And that you all know who that goes back to. None of this is what it appears to be to. And I also don't like Twitter. I think Twitter is one of the worst inventions. I just hate Twitter. For one thing, you can't copy and paste it. It's very hard. And these sneaky things go out in a zap, 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 and records of them are lost, quickly lost. People are, other people are able to capture these things. I don't know. I just hate the whole Twitter phenomenon. And now it's very obvious that Twitter is being used to facilitate all of these riot conditions. All of this Black Lives Matter shit is being coordinated with Twitter. And somebody remarked that they now understood why Obama had dispensed all these Obama phones to anybody who, was on food stamps, EBT cards. I kind of lost track. As recently as last July, they were doing the giveaways of the Obama phones. And I suppose they are still giving them away. And one of the reasons for making those phones available to that lower poverty uh, population, was to coordinate through Twitter and through the other on. I was just sickening. But at least we're not ignorant. We can see how all of this is being facilitated. We can't stop it, but we can see it going on. All right, now this last piece that I put up, um, let me just say first that all the stuff about the rioting in the cities, Black Lives Matters, and the cop shootings and all of that has overwhelmed the news is literally a drop in the bucket. It's just the very tippy of the iceberg. It's not important at all in the big scheme of things. It really has very little importance. In the big scheme of things, the important picture is the worldwide phenomenon connected to the Islamic movement around the planet, NATO hemming up Europe, particularly NATO hemming up Russia, and the three categories of people that I mentioned earlier, one category of which I said was Luciferians and Satanists who, and another category of those same people, and these people are not hidden away in some ivory tower or in some secret organization. These are the people that are right in our faces, in our communities, many times in our families, sometimes in our bedrooms. They are certainly in our forums. They are certainly all over online. These are the diabolical narcissists. These are the ones who, in our personal experience, can do us the most damage, and they have. There is not a one single person listening to me speak today whose life has not been deeply damaged by the conduct and the presence of one of these fiends, one or more of these fiends. All right. I've lost track of myself again, time-wise. I don't know how long I'm going to have to get a clock. I'll have to put a clock up here with a timer on it. Okay, again, I'm still just practicing, trying to figure out I kind of view it as a new assignment. A new assignment, whatever it is. This is not the time for the people of God to fall silent. This is the time when those who can must speak. I am personally grateful that the diabolical narcissist, I know I'm pronouncing that, narcissus, that was the name of a very beautiful flowering plant that grows from a bulb. Daffodils are in that plant family. And this is just a hard word for me to pronounce. But by God, I know the son of a bitches when I see them. I certainly do. And I learned that the hard way, and you learned it the hard way as well. Okay, so enough on that. I will find my way back to this other screen. I don't know where I went here. I don't know where I am. There we are. All right, my dears. I always hate it when people say, and they're talking about the end of the damn world. And, Satan himself abroad on the land. New World Order rapidly advancing upon all our ass. And then they glibly say, well, have a nice day. I don't know. I can't kind of get that together. But so I would say, for right now, the main thing is remember you are loved. You are loved. You have always been loved. You will always be loved. Hang on to that. And I will talk to you later.